Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you who are in the room, if we can ask you to please take your seat. We will be starting the live stream very shortly. Those of you who are in the room, we are thrilled to have 50 people with us here today. Please take your seat so we can get started. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Darius Davenport, partner at the law firm of Crenshaw, Ware & Martin, and the 2021 chair for the Norfolk division of the Hampton Roads Chamber. We work to be an impactful advocate, inspiring igniter, powerful economic partner, and regional collaborator.
And I am Georgie Marquez, partner with Andre Marquez Architects. I'm the 2021 chair for the Norfolk Division and 2021 vice chair for small business. The Hampton Roads Chamber means business. We are continuing to expand our membership in Norfolk and in all of the 757. On behalf of the Norfolk Division and the Regional Board of the Hampton Roads Chamber, I welcome you to the 2021 Norfolk State of the City Address. Bienvenidos.
We now call upon Hampton Roads Chamber President and CEO, Brian Stevens, to continue today's program.
Thank you, Darius, and thank you, Georgie, so much for your leadership this year, serving as the Norfolk Division Chair and as the Vice Chair for Small Businesses. Georgie, we appreciate all of your leadership and all that you're doing. You know, we had a Board of Director meeting last night, and one of the things that I recognized at that Board of Director meeting was that we've got so many great volunteer leaders in the Chamber this year. We have board members that are serving on committees. We have board members that are contributing to the overall mission of the Chamber on a volunteer basis, and they're really making an impact this year. And I got to tell you, it's an extreme pleasure for me to work with them every single day. So thank you to all of our volunteer leaders in the Chamber. As Darius said, my name is Brian Stevens, and it is a distinct honor for me to serve this region as the President and CEO of the Hampton Roads Chamber, the Chamber, by the way, that is unapologetically pro-business. We strive every single day to create a pro-business environment for one reason, and that reason is to set the conditions so that businesses can be a success, because we know that businesses that create jobs and create revenue are the heart of our economy. And that's what we do every day, and it's a distinct honor and a privilege for me to lead this organization and to work with those volunteer leaders I mentioned earlier. Let's get started today by honoring our nation. I would ask those in the room to please stand up. And I'd like to introduce Alana Lapatina from the Hurrah Players to sing the national anthem for us. Alana, stage is yours.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free
Thank you, Alana. Please be seated if you're in the room. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Alana, we appreciate it. You know, one of the great pleasures of having these State of the City events in person is that I get to meet and personally thank all of our elected officials. We usually have all of our city council members, most of our General Assembly members here to hear the mayor's address. Unfortunately, we're at the tail end of this pandemic. I'm sure we'll get back to doing these events live and in person. I know we've got some here in person within the limitations that we're working under. We do have Mayor Bobby Dyer with us. I want to recognize him. Mayor Dyer from Virginia Beach. Thank you, sir. I just got word that Mayor Shannon Glover is en route, and I also know that Mayor Rick West from Chesapeake is attending virtually. So thank you, Mayor West, for all your support on all of these State of the Cities. I'd also be remiss if I didn't recognize the leader of the Hampton Roads Regional Board of Directors. Our chairman of the board, Mr. Steve Romine, is here. Steve, thank you for coming. A good friend of mine and indeed a colleague, which I just love working with every day, the president and CEO of the Hampton Roads Alliance and the past city manager of this great city. Doug Smith is with us. Doug, thanks for coming. I also know that the Norfolk City Council members are with us virtually. I want to thank you so much for all that you do every day to make Norfolk such a great place to live, work, and raise families. I'd also like to recognize, I saw him come in, the current city manager, Mr. Chip Fowler is with us. Chip, thank you for all that you're doing, sir. Thank you. You know, the Hampton Roads Chamber could not do these events without the generosity of our sponsors, and I like to recognize those sponsors now. I want to thank Town Bank for, again, this year being the presenting sponsor for the State of the City Series 757. We've got Morgan Davis with us. Morgan, thank you so much for the culture that you've created and the leadership has created there in Town Bank. We truly appreciate your continued support, not just for the Chamber, but for the entire business community and our residents here in Hampton Roads. Our Norfolk City host sponsor is Dominion Energy. Ed Bain is a strong supporter of the Chamber and the business community, so thank you, Ed, for all that you do. Our Platinum Series sponsor is Bon Secours Health Systems. Amy Carrier, what a wonderful leader she is of that organization, and her impact throughout the Hampton Roads community is being felt. So, Amy, thank you for your leadership. Norfolk member Spotlight sponsor is ADP. I want to thank Mike Donahue, who is with us, and you'll hear from him here in a few minutes. Mike, thank you for all that you're doing, not just with ADP, but your contributions to the city of Norfolk and the Hampton Roads region. The Franklin, the future sponsor is the Franklin Johnson Group. I want to thank Taylor Franklin. Our host sponsor is the Norfolk Hilton, the Maine. Of course, we want to thank Bruce Thompson for all his support of the Chamber. We have several Silver Series sponsors. I want to recognize, first of all, A&B, Geico, the Hampton Roads Workforce Council, Norfolk State University, Optima Health, and Verizon. We have several bronze sponsors to include EVMS, Langley Federal Credit Union, the Suffolk W.M. Jordan Joint Venture. We want to thank them. And also you'll find our virtual program sponsors in your program. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you with me, please lead me in a round of applause to all our sponsors. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Paula Miller from Dominion Energy, who will deliver the city host sponsor remarks. Paula?
Thank you, Brian. We appreciate the opportunity to be here today. As a member of the Dominion Energy team, I am pleased to stand before you today on Earth Day and reiterate Dominion Energy's commitment to a clean energy future. Noted poet and environmentalist Wendell Berry once said, "The Earth is what we all have in common, and this region shares a common goal as well, one of supporting our planet through a commitment to clean energy, and it begins with offshore wind. Not far from here, 27 miles off the coast of Virginia Beach, Dominion Energy's Coastal Virginia Offshore Wind Project is taking shape. It will be the nation's largest commercial wind energy project. Norfolk and Hampton Roads are gateways to a critical resource for meeting the Commonwealth's objective of carbon-free energy by 2045. We're proud to be working with partners like the Hampton Roads Alliance to help make it happen. We're rolling out the welcome mat for the next generation of clean, renewable energy. Energy that will create thousands of jobs, new jobs, from the ports here in Norfolk to the wind farm off the coast, where 188 wind turbines will be installed and produce enough power to light up 660,000 homes and businesses for the next several decades. Training is underway at places like Centura College here in Norfolk to produce certified workers to be employed in these offshore jobs, and Dominion Energy is building the first US-made vessel to install the wind turbines, and it will be home ported here in Hampton Roads. Upon completion of the commercial project in 2026, Virginia will be a model for the rest of the country that aims to build their own clean economy and clean energy future. But for now, we are in a listen and learn mode. We look forward to hearing from Norfolk residents and neighboring communities in the next several months about their ideas for getting these clean energy source offshore to the electric grid onshore. It's a project that will send a message to the world that Norfolk and Hampton Roads are leaders in clean energy, and Dominion Energy is fully committed to renewable energy for our Virginia customers. Let's take a closer look.
27 miles off the coast of Virginia Beach, secured 80 feet below the water's surface and rising 600 feet into the air, stands the future of energy in America. The two test turbines there are now producing approximately 12 megawatts of electricity, but they're also demonstrating to the world that wind energy works well in the Atlantic, well enough to help greenlight the construction of the additional 188 turbines that will fulfill this project's scope. It's called the Coastal Virginia Offshore Wind Project. These new turbines will be 200 feet taller and collectively generate 220 times more power than the pilot project, enough to heat and light up to 660,000 homes at peak and keep Virginia on course to becoming carbon-free by 2045. And for Hampton Roads, having the first wind farm in federal waters will position both the region and the Commonwealth of Virginia internationally as leaders in science, technology, and the use of clean and renewable energy. These turbines will even help to position Hampton Roads as a hub for a robust wind energy supply chain that exists nowhere else in America today. In fact, a vessel is now being built that will haul equipment from the shore to the construction site. Home ported in Hampton Roads, the vessel will transport wind turbines from the terminal and install them at sea. The vessel will also be able to serve other wind farms that may follow along the eastern seaboard. This emerging industry will require the talents of dedicated men and women from a broad array of fields to fashion and maintain the blades and other equipment necessary for the Coastal Virginia Offshore Wind Project, also known as CVOW. CVOW will bring Hampton Roads into the national spotlight when it comes to clean and renewable energy, boosting the local economy and showing our young people that the region has a strong future, one that's well worth growing in or returning to for meaningful employment. Once the power comes ashore, it will be transmitted across Virginia Beach to Dominion Energy's Fentress substation in Chesapeake. Dominion Energy will review and put forward a number of routing options for consideration. To accomplish this, we will collaborate with localities, residents, and other stakeholders to minimize disruption and maximize the use of existing rights-of-way. That process begins now, principally in Virginia Beach and in Chesapeake, two dynamic cities in a region well-positioned to take advantage of the power of the wind as it moves over our seas. And Dominion Energy stands ready to be the reliable partner needed to help grow the future prosperity of Hampton Roads. Because the Coastal Virginia Offshore Wind Project is an important part of that future.
Paula, thank you very much. We appreciate it. That's really an exciting project, and we appreciate you bringing it to us. As I mentioned to you, ADP is our member spotlight sponsor today. Please welcome Mike Donahue to deliver their remarks. Mike.
Good afternoon. As Brian mentioned, my name is Michael Donahue. I'm the Vice President and General Manager of our ADP Norfolk location. I would like to extend a thank you to Chamber President, Mr. Stevens, along with the rest of the Chamber staff, for all your efforts in making Norfolk a destination point to do business, as well as allowing ADP to be the member spotlight sponsor at today's Norfolk Mayor State of the City address. It's an honor to be here representing our one ADP Norfolk location. ADP is a comprehensive global provider of cloud-based human capital management solutions that unite human resources, payroll, talent, time, tax, and benefits administration, as well as a leader in business outsourcing services, analytics, and compliance expertise. This year, ADP celebrated 72 years in business with over 58,000 associates serving 860,000 clients in 140 countries. ADP came to Norfolk in 2016, and we continue to have success here. Our current population is approximately 1,500 associates and growing. We recruit primarily in the Hampton Roads region, and we're proud to state that our philanthropic and professional partnerships remain strong. In reference to the talent in the local community, I would like to recognize one of our educational partners for allowing ADP to collaborate in an initiative to nurture and develop the next generation of human capital management professionals. In 2020, under the leadership of Dean Jeff Tanner and Dr. Ryan Klinger, Old Dominion University, Strome College of Business launched the ADP Human Capital Management Academy. It's a lab utilizing the same training curriculum as ADP clients. Business students seeking a bachelor's degree in human resources can get hands-on experience in leveraging ADP's all-in-one HR solution, Workforce Now. This will better prepare them for the future role as a human resources leader. I'm happy to announce that the first graduating class will take place this May, and we expect 12 students to graduate. In addition, because the ADP Human Capital Management Academy has been certified a SHRM academically aligned program, students who complete the program will be eligible to take the SHRM Certified Professionals exam immediately upon graduation, bypassing the typical 3-year waiting period where students have to earn qualifying work experience. In closing, I'd like to take a moment to recognize the 15 members of my senior leadership team and the 130 frontline leaders for their leadership and guidance helping navigate these unprecedented times. I also want to thank our 1,350 associates for their patience, flexibility, hard work, determination, and resilience as they continue to provide our clients with world-class service through the pandemic. I'm looking forward to the time we are all back in the office celebrating our accomplishments together in person. Please enjoy the following video that shares how ADP is looking to the future and continuing to innovate for the ever-changing world of work. Thank you for your time today.
The world of work is going through unprecedented change. Technology enables us to do more than ever before, giving us greater access to rich data that helps drive innovation. At ADP, we've been committed to innovation for nearly 70 years. We invented an entire industry by changing the way payroll operates. Since then, we've led the way in human capital management, delivering award-winning solutions to the ever-changing world of work. Today, we have nearly 2,000 associates at our world-class innovation labs, solely focused on developing the next generation of HCM solutions.
Big data, mobile, the cloud, social, change the way we design our systems and serve our customers. Now, machine learning and robotics are changing the way we work.
We're innovating organically, as well as through strategic acquisitions, and our approach is driven by insights based on truths about human behavior.
We know from experience that no idea will scale unless it meets real human needs.
We support HR leaders, entire teams. We support people. Our ADP mobile app puts the power of ADP into the hands of over 15 million employees all over the world. And all the while, we're keeping confidential information secure. Our critical incident response centers enable around-the-clock threat assessment and cyber protection, preventing and fighting cyber attacks in real time around the world. When it comes to compliance risk, we have thousands of experts who are constantly monitoring legislation in more than 110 countries, so our clients can stay up to date and ahead of changes. We're always anticipating what's next. That's a major reason why many of our clients have been with us for more than 25 years. The future of work is here. Are you ready? We are.
Okay, thank you very much, Mike. We appreciate that presentation and all ADP does to support us here at the Chamber and the business community. I mentioned in my introductory comments, Mayor Shannon Glover from Portsmouth. He has joined us now. Mayor, welcome. Thank you for being with us today. We're so proud again this year to have Town Bank as our presenting sponsor. The president of Town Bank Norfolk is Charity Volman, and she joins me now to deliver some comments on behalf of Town Bank and introduce Mayor Kenny Alexander. Charity?
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure for me to be here today to welcome you to the virtual Norfolk State of the City address. Town Bank is honored to once again be presenting sponsor for the series of 5 State of the City addresses. For many years, hundreds of business, civic, and community leaders from across Hampton Roads have come together for these State of the City meetings. We all hope that by next spring, we will once again be able to meet together in person. This past year has been an incredibly challenging one for our local businesses. I applaud the Hampton Roads Chamber of Commerce for stepping up to help in the midst of an unprecedented economic storm. The Chamber's COVID response site and COVID recovery site were recognized as the model that all organizations should follow. The Chamber also provided virtual education on everything from team bonding to diversity to mental wellness. Town Bank was honored to help our local businesses through our PPP Paycheck Protection Program. We were able to support 6,700 businesses with more than $1.2 billion of much needed funding. We're now participating in the second round of PPP, and that round has been extended through May. Town Bank has grown over the years from 3 offices in 1999 to more than 40 offices today throughout Hampton Roads and Central Virginia, as well as Northeastern and Central North Carolina. We continue our commitment to serving others and enriching lives by supporting hundreds of local charitable organizations through donations, scholarships, and grants. Since our founding, Town Bank and the Town Bank Foundation have contributed more than $78 million to the communities that we serve. Now it's my honor to introduce Mayor Kenneth Cooper Alexander. Norfolk has seen a number of successes during 2020, as well as a multifaceted response to COVID. In a moment, Mayor Alexander will tell you more about his city's achievements, but let me highlight just a few. More than 300 Norfolk restaurants received signs, furniture, heaters, and help to create outdoor dining areas. The first ever Winterfest was held at Nauticus, and the Battleship Wisconsin was the star of the show. And lastly, the Norfolk Botanical Garden remained open all last year to provide visitors with a much-needed connection to nature. Kenneth Cooper Alexander was elected mayor of the city of Norfolk on May 3rd, 2016, and re-elected in May 2020. A native of Norfolk, Dr. Alexander is president of Metropolitan Funeral Service and chancellor of Centura College and their Aviation Institute for Maintenance. He began his public service career more than 2 decades ago. Mayor Alexander served in the Senate of Virginia from 2012 to 2016, where he was a member of the committees on Commerce and Labor, Finance, Transportation, and Privileges and Elections. Before his election to the Senate, he represented the 89th District in the House of Delegates from 2002 until 2012, serving on the committees of Commerce and Labor, Education, Privileges and Elections, and Rules. Prior to serving in the General Assembly, Mayor Alexander was a member of the Norfolk Economic Development Authority, the City Planning Commission as Vice Chair, and the Human Services Commission. He's a member of the Greater Norfolk Corporation, the Norfolk chapter of the FBI Citizens Academy Alumni Association, and an alumnus of the Sorensen Institute for Political Leadership. Mayor Alexander began his community service as president of Berkeley's Beacon Light Civic League and Beacon Light Community Development Corporation. Mayor Alexander is proud that his first full-time job was with the City of Norfolk as a cemetery manager with the Department of Parks and Recreation from 1989 to 1990. A 1985 graduate of Lake Taylor High School, he holds a bachelor's degree in political science from Old Dominion University, a master's degree in diplomacy from Norwich University, and a PhD in leadership and change from Antioch University. Mayor Alexander is also an author. He recently published his first book, Persistence, which will be released May 31st. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Kenneth Cooper Alexander.
Thank you, Charity Bowman, President, Norfolk Town Bank, for that kind introduction. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. It's indeed a pleasure to be here with you on behalf of the greatest city in America, the city of Norfolk, and my colleagues on my Norfolk City Council, Vice Mayor Martin Thomas Jr., Paul Riddick, Thomas Smeagol, Mamie Johnson, Andrea McClellan, Courtney Doyle, and Danica Worcester. Thank you, colleagues. For more than a year, the COVID-19 pandemic has prevented us from coming together in a single location and has restricted us in our ability to participate in many civic events and exercises. Many significant life events and celebrations have been significantly downsized or postponed or canceled altogether. So today, I am so grateful for this occasion to reconnect with many of you. While it has been a tough year for everyone, we should all appreciate that our willingness to come together and to support one another has helped to ease the impact of this pandemic and placed us on that road to recovery. Brian Stevens, let me personally thank you and your board and all of your friends who support the Hampton Roads Chamber for the critical work that you continue to do during this pandemic. Can we show our appreciation for the Hampton Roads Chamber? During this year, the Chamber has helped our businesses to navigate the pathway towards recovery, and we are grateful for their work and their commitment. Thanks again, Brian. The arrival of the COVID-19 pandemic, along with unprecedented economic shutdowns, forced us to quickly readjust our city priorities and to realign our services. And I do want to recognize again our Norfolk City Manager, Dr. Chip Filer. Chip, thank you for being here. As the initial federal response was uncertain, it was clear that we had to take some leadership. It was up to us to marshal the local and state resources to provide the health of our residents and to aid our workers and to provide some certainty for our businesses. So in response to the growing epidemic and food insecurity, we coordinated with the Food Bank of Southeastern Virginia and NRHA, and we distributed more than 35,000 pounds of food to families. More than 4,000 meals were provided to families in Tidewater Gardens through our People First initiative, and we worked closely with Pharrell Williams and World Central Kitchen to provide food and resources to residents in need throughout Hampton Roads. The We Care Project, launched by Clarence Perry and Sarah Peoples Perry through Helping Hands Ministry with the support of our own Norfolk Police Department, started serving 50 seniors in Berkeley. at the beginning of the pandemic and grew to providing more than 900 hot meals to households in Berkeley and throughout Hampton Roads, and 150 bags of groceries every week as it continued. And on January 25th, we opened a vaccination clinic at Military Circle Mall. At the time, now it serves as FEMA's regional vaccination site and is open 7 days a week. Stakeholders throughout the city joined the effort and provided much needed support. For example, the Avian Institute of Maintenance held a vaccination clinic in partnership with Walmart. And thanks to the tireless work of the ministers of the Tidewater Baptist Metro Ministers Conference and their congregations, People's Pharmacy, Hague Pharmacy, Dr. Keith Newby, and many others, hospitals, Centera, Bon Secours, and many volunteers, the spread of COVID-19 has dramatically decreased in Hampton Roads. Thank you to all of our volunteers. We are grateful that new state and federal resources have increased the availability of the vaccine, and today there is a free vaccine available for everyone who's 16 years of age and older who wants to take in charge of their health, their family's health, and the health of our community. Get vaccinated. If everyone does their part and gets vaccinated, I'm confident that next year's State of the City address will make its return to a larger venue with a live audience. At the end of fiscal year 2020, the city faced a multi-million-dollar deficit and carried a budget shortfall of more than $40 million into fiscal year 2021. But through aggressive cost cutting and temporary folding of city services, we were able to prevent a tough fiscal situation from becoming an ongoing fiscal crisis. Our actions maintain the confidence of global credit rating agencies. Standard & Poor's has reaffirmed our AAA bond rating by citing our fiscal strength and management discipline during COVID-19. Thank you, Dr. Filer. Although this fiscal realignment has had a sudden and was compelled by unforeseen circumstances, we remain focused on a strong recovery for our workers, our businesses, and the physical health of our city. Norfolk Works, the city award-winning workforce development initiative, has continued to serve Norfolk residents throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. Recognizing that during this uncertain time, many of our residents are looking for new, in-demand careers that pay family-sustaining wages. To support their career journeys of these residents, we are excited to announce a new partnership between Norfolk Works and Tidewater Community College to bring a mobile welding lab to Norfolk residents by this summer. This state-of-the-art lab will support our shipbuilding and repair community and provide instruction for skilled welding jobs of tomorrow. To address the significant burdens faced by our local residents and shops, we launched Open Norfolk. This community assistance program helped more than 360 businesses to reopen. From Ocean View to get to downtown, our sidewalks and streets and parking lots came to life as we worked with residents to create safe outdoor dining opportunities. Through Open Norfolk, we also created pop-up programming in Broad Creek, 5 Points, and St. Paul's to address the need for outdoor dining programming and safe places for families and kids to have fun. The Congress of the New Urbanism recognized Norfolk and work program architects for this initiative. And over the past year, the city has aided more than 1,300 businesses impacted by the pandemic. And I want to thank our Norfolk business community, local stakeholders, nonprofits for their patience and fortitude, and especially Team Norfolk for the tremendous response. Because of our collective work, dedication, and sacrifices, I can state with full confidence that the state of our city is strong. Norfolk's concentration of people, military installations, institutions, and economic activity continues to serve as a hub for international security, learning, healthcare, culture, and commerce. We have welcomed teachers back, students back to our public schools. Our first group of elementary school students returned in-person instruction on March 15th, and middle school students began following a hybrid schedule this month. To date, more than 60% of school students have returned to the classroom. Thank God. Tidewater Community College is in the first wave of reopening, engaging thousands of students through their online learning model. And Old Dominion University recently announced plans for in-person graduation ceremonies for commencements this spring, also this December, and also plans to fully open its campus in the fall for on-campus learning activities and the return of Monarch football. Go Blue. We all have learned of the retirement of President John Broderick. We want to take this time to collectively thank John and Kate for their leadership at Old Dominion University and their commitment to the city and to the Hampton Roads region. Thank you, John and Kate, for your work here at Hampton Roads. And of course, we want to welcome Dr. Brian Hempfield and his family to our city. We wish you the best for success and success at Old Dominion. Norfolk State University reopened this spring, offering students in-person and a hybrid models of learning, and their reigning MEAC men's basketball championship team represented our city in this year's NCAA Men's Division I basketball tournament. Thank you, Norfolk State. Behold the green and gold. And Norfolk State and Old Dominion are developing a regional school of public health with Eastern Virginia Medical School. This initiative is being funded by a $4 million grant from Centerra's Healthier Communities Fund and will address health disparities in our communities. Norfolk continues to serve as the center for Centerra's mission to improve health every day for residents across the Commonwealth of Virginia. Last summer, the Centerra Brock Cancer Center began treating patients. Developed through an investment of $93.5 million, this innovative center will be providing transformational cancer care in Hampton Roads. Centerra Lee Hospital is also scheduled to finish their $14 million renovation of its emergency department later this year. And in 2022, we look forward to the opening of CHKD's $224 million children's mental health facility, which will serve as the centerpiece of a bold new initiative that will provide a full spectrum of mental health care for our children. Yes. Downtown Norfolk continues to evolve as a regional hub for commerce as Town Bank and CHKD partnered to purchase the Norfolk Southern Tower. Town Bank will house its town financial services operations in the 21-story building at Commercial Place, while CHKD will relocate its non-medical operations to this building. Thank you, Town. We have welcomed the opening and expansion of small businesses that are on their way to becoming large-scale enterprises, and it continues to distinguish us as a city. This includes Brothers Restaurant, which opened this year downtown, and Good Yoga, which is opening their new location in North Colley Corridor this May. The Industrial Cottage, which started as a small repurposed furniture store, expanded operations and staff at its warehouse space on Church Street. And Rialta Life Sciences, a biotech startup, established its headquarters off Military Highway after raising more than $14 million in capital. And in Berkeley, the Berkeley Supermarket is opening this fall, and Tabit Manufacturing has expanded its operation with a $6.5 million investment that will help create 68 new jobs. Amazon announced that they are opening a delivery station on Suez Point Road that will support 200 jobs. And we took a major step towards the redevelopment of the Military Circle corridor with the purchase of the gallery at Military Circle. The Military Circle corridor connects Southampton roads. The acquisition of this site is strategic for the city and the region and allows us to not only bolster economic development, but address resilience challenges by concentrating future development for the region in this location. We look forward to evaluating ideas for the design of an inclusive, healthy, and sustainable mixed-use community from our selected development teams by the end of this summer. Yes. One of the many things that makes Norfolk a vibrant place to live and a magnet for visitors and new businesses is the thriving arts community. When the pandemic shuttered performance venues throughout the city, the Virginia Arts Festival and Fest events created innovative ways to bring the arts and events to audiences, including socially distanced outdoor performances and interactive digital exhibit of the works of Michelangelo, all presented in the heart of Norfolk's Arts District. As restrictions were eased, over 5,000 people attended these events. A survey of patrons revealed that 61% visited a restaurant and 40% visited a retail store while enjoying these events. As the city emerges from the pandemic, it is vital that we bring residents and visitors back to support our businesses. The Virginia Arts Festival's new Bank Street stage has opened in the heart of the Norfolk Arts District, just steps away from restaurants and retail shops. With dozens of performances planned, the Virginia Arts Festival, Fest events, and 7 venues are bringing people back to Norfolk. And the Norfolk Tides are resuming play at Harbor Park. Opening day for the 2021 season is May 18th. Play ball. And after a one-year hiatus, the Norfolk NATO Festival and the Virginia International Tattoo will return June 3rd through the 6th, 2021. Yes. The city has continued its commitment to addressing initiative include an increase in employment from 47% to 70%. The percentage of people and families with preschool children participating in the formal learning programs that we offered has tripled. The targeted was 24%, with the actual result being 68%, and 97% of the children who left Tidewater Gardens have now enrolled in an accredited school, and the annual wages for working residents in Tidewater Gardens has increased by 54%, and that the creation of a resilient infrastructure for this community is being financed in part by a $15 million bill grant that was awarded to Norfolk last year by the United States Department of Transportation. The new streets and sidewalks funded by this grant will end decades of isolation. At the same time, we're breaking ground this year for a new pump station, a $3.5 million pump station that will better manage stormwater in this section of Norfolk. Collaborative sessions with St. Paul's residents have begun for this design of a 26-acre resilient park. This critical component of the redevelopment will provide needed space for recreation and highlight the history and culture of this community. It will serve as a support for environmental resilience as well. Also, the region's premier resilient initiative, the Ohio Creek Watershed Project, is scheduled for completion by December of 2022. This $112 million transformational coastal improvement project will reduce flooding, improve public space, and ensure that communities of Grandy Village and Chesterfield Heights will thrive for years to come. In Baroid Park, a $1.2 million investment is being launched to help the living shoreline along the Lafayette River to protect this neighborhood from erosion. We are connecting neighborhoods in Ocean View to the waterfront as well by making investments to improve public access to our beaches. This month, we will announce a plan that will create a natural coastal protections against storm surge and high tides and extend access to open space while improving access to parking at our oceanfront. The second phase of this development will include the restoration of on-the-water dining, an experience once distinguished many of our restaurants in Ocean View. Our commitment to environmental leadership also extends to reducing our carbon footprint. And this year, our stakeholders introduced projects that will contribute to the reducing of greenhouse gas emissions throughout our region. Hampton Roads Transit has deployed battery-powered buses in Norfolk. These zero-emission buses are replacing diesel fuel buses, and this will also greatly improve the air quality in our communities. And Norfolk Solar, through its initiative to install more than 1,000 solar panels at churches and businesses in Hampton Roads, installed a solar array at Wesley Union AME Zion Church in Huntsville that has the potential to generate up to 20,000 kilowatts per power per year. And the Coastal Virginia Offshore Wind Project continues its effort to construct a 2,640 megawatt wind farm off the coast of Virginia Beach that will host 188 wind turbines and generate enough power to power over 600,000 homes and businesses by 2026. Wind energy has the potential to bring around 14,000 jobs to the Hampton Roads area, and Norfolk is positioned to serve as a critical link in the global supply chain for this and other wind energy initiatives. Centura College launched the first certified wind turbine technician program in Virginia this year. This new program will prepare the next generation of technicians to install, service, and maintain wind turbines for years to come. The Hampton Roads Alliance, thank you, Mr. Smith, for being here, in partnership with Old Dominion Open Seas Technology Innovation Hub, is developing the Offshore Wind Landing, a collaborative space at the World Trade Center where companies interested in becoming a part of the region's growing wind industry will be able to connect with state and local resources and build a presence in Hampton Roads. Thank you, Doug. Our tourism sector is experiencing a promising recovery, and we are leading other markets and visitors and hotel bookings. After initiating a promotional partnership with Virginia Beach, thank you, Mr. Mayor, our hotels generated more than 7,500 bookings with revenue exceeding $6 million. Last week, Carnival Cruise Line announced plans to bring the Carnival Magic to Norfolk in 2022. This 1,000-foot, 4,000-passenger ship will be the largest Carnival vessel to sail from our downtown cruise terminal and will connect passengers to Bermuda and to the Caribbean. Throughout the pandemic, the Elizabeth River Trail, the Virginia Zoo, the Norfolk Botanical Garden, and Nauticus offered visitors throughout the region and the state exceptional opportunities for socially distanced recreation. There is no doubt that these incredible recreational assets contributed to the recent accolades from Condé Nast and Travel and Leisure magazine and recognition from Southern Living magazine as one of the South's best cities on the rise. Chief Bob Gray is with us today. Chief, thank you for being here. I want to thank Chief Gray and the Pamunkey Indian Tribe for their historic investment that they are making in the city of Norfolk. The tribe has released just yesterday renderings of the resort hotel casino. As part of the design process, the Pamunkey Indian Tribe will commit more than $20 million to address shoreline resiliency and create a vibrant, sustainable living shoreline that will improve the health of the Elizabeth River and provide an exciting new attraction for our residents and tourists. The tribe has a long history of environmental stewardship, and I'm so pleased that they are continuing that strong tradition in the city of Norfolk. Thank you again, Chief Gray, for your partnership with the city of Norfolk. Chief Gray. Since 1682, Norfolk has served as the hub for international trade, transportation, and commerce. Over the past year, we have witnessed growth in this critical economic sector and new developments that will have an incredible impact on the region. The Port of Virginia continues to expand its ability to process cargo and welcome the largest container cranes in America as it completed the $450 million renovation of the Norfolk International Terminal's south berth. KTN announced plans to invest $61 million to expand its freight distribution center in Compostela. They are adding 243,000 square foot warehouse rail facility that will support 35 new jobs. And CMA CGM Group, an international leader in shipping and logistics, will expand operations in Norfolk through a $36 million investment in its customer care and finance operations that's expected to create more than 400 jobs. The largest highway construction project in Virginia's history, the expansion of the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel, continues. This project has a total budget of $3.8 billion, which will support an annual estimated jobs during the life of the project, 28,000 jobs. This expansion will increase tunnel and interstate capacity, improve the commuter experience, and provide a more efficient connection for transportation of global goods that Norfolk connects to the world. The Norfolk International Airport is experiencing the highest volume of travelers since the onset of the pandemic and has started the design phase of the runway rehabilitation project. Renovations of the runway will begin in 2023. We remain focused and dedicated to bringing more air service to our airport, which provides vital travel connections from our region. Please stay tuned. In Norfolk, we're proud of our connectivity and commitment to resilience, but there is a key component of infrastructure that has been missing in our city: access to affordable high-speed internet for all of our residents and businesses. This captured my attention and the attention of my colleagues on the Norfolk City Council during the past year. We were moved by the stories of students and parents and workers struggling through slow connections, losing valuable instruction time, missing connections with friends and family and residents, having to forfeit critical, possibly life-changing opportunities. So today, I'm excited to announce that the City of Norfolk is partnering with MetroNet to develop a high-speed fiber network for the entire city. MetroNet provides high-speed internet, voice, and video services to homes and businesses over a world-class 100% fiber infrastructure. They currently offer one of the fastest internet services available anywhere in the United States. They have customers in more than 100 communities across 9 states. Through this partnership, Norfolk will be the first gigabit city in the Commonwealth of Virginia. MetroNet privately funds their own projects. They don't look for the city for any financing. MetroNet's commitment to Norfolk won't stop at bringing exciting new technology. They will have a local presence and will create jobs in our region. They are ready to start their construction process this year. Norfolk is on the path to becoming a gigabit city. In 2018, leadership from the cities of Southampton Roads gathered to announce the first connection point of the regional fiber optic network that would connect job centers, colleges and universities, research institutions, and municipal facilities throughout the region. This regional network would form a 104-mile fiber ring around Southampton Roads and link us to the undersea cables directly coming from South Africa and Europe. In addition, the fiber ring would support the 5th generation wireless networks. Completion of this project has the potential to establish Hampton Roads as an international information gateway. Today, the City of Norfolk is announcing a pledge of $5 million from our share of funds provided by the American Rescue Plan Act to complete this vital piece of digital infrastructure. I challenge our partner cities in this important initiative to do the same and to follow through on this regional effort to design and build an interconnected fiber ring that will offer our region the fastest, most reliable, most affordable access to digital and global connectivity. Norfolk, it's time to reconnect. For more than a year, we have been disconnected from our friends and family. Our children have been disconnected from relationships that nurture their growth and their development. Our markets have been disconnected from the economy, and the economy has been disconnected from too many of our workers. We are positioned for a strong recovery, but it is critical that we renew our connections as we move beyond the pandemic. We have to reconnect students with teachers. We have to reconnect doctors with patients. We have to reconnect workers with skills and skilled workers with good paying jobs. We have to reconnect our citizens to our libraries and recreation centers. We have to reconnect our neighbors to our civic leagues. We have to reconnect our leaders to our youth to address violence. We have to reconnect our homeless with shelter. We have to reconnect those who are struggling in despair with hope. And we must reconnect our government to our citizens. Thank you. Let's stay healthy and safe. And let's begin the process of reconnection. Reconnect Norfolk. Thank you. May God bless you. May God bless the Hampton Roads Chamber.